In this video, we're going to be taking a look at a really simple little project, and that is creating a hype chain. All right. So we're going to be using Inkscape to create our artwork, and then we'll use our slicer to actually create our 3D model. Now, I will preface this video by saying that if you're brand new to creating 3D models and 3D printing in general, highly recommend that you only consider two things: learning your slicer inside and out and backwards. All right. Spend a good day of watching videos, all the videos you can on your slicer. Very, very important that you understand that slicer. Very powerful tool. Doesn't matter if you're using Bambu Studio, Orca, Cura, Prusa, Creality Print, whatever it is, know your slicer. That will help you very, very greatly. And secondly, know a graphics program. Doesn't necessarily have to be Inkscape, but know a graphics program that can create and output an SVG file. If you have those two things in your bag, almost everything that you're going to want to create and print can be done with just those two things. Definitely do not recommend even looking at 3D modeling software until you have those two basics complete. Know your slicer, know Inkscape, or some type of graphics program inside and out and backwards. I like Inkscape because it's very powerful, very easy to use, lots of video tutorials on how to use it, etc., etc. Let's go ahead and import our artwork. Control I to import the logo in question here, and there it is. Doesn't get any more simple than this logo, folks. So this is a great opportunity to have lots of success very quickly here inside Inkscape. So that is a JPEG, PNG file, whatever it might be. Let's go ahead and right click on it and choose Trace Bitmap. And typically we will use the brightness and cutoff option here. Now what you're going to see here, and you already see it here on the screen, you see the black here, but you don't see the green. Okay, if we were to increase this up a little bit here, you see it just gets darker. Now if we back it off, you see how now we have the black, and then if we bring it up, we have the green. See the difference there? Okay. Now this can be helpful to us. So let's go ahead and do trace bitmap there, and we hit apply. Okay. And that gives us one result. So let's go ahead and turn that off. Okay. And then we'll look at the next result. So go back to our image here and basically do the same thing. So we're going to right click, choose trace bitmap, and now we'll just move that slider over so we get that, and then we'll go ahead and choose apply again. Okay. So now if we stack these two, so if I move this one up one spot, okay, and I give it, really the lower one should get the green, right? So, and then the upper one here, we can see if we go in wireframe mode, maybe we could see this better. That one's still turned off. But yeah, so we could give that one black, and then we can kind of see what we got going on here, okay? So that is essentially our artwork that's been recreated there. Let's go ahead and just pull this over here. Okay. So now what we're going to do to kind of finish this off is we're going to take our black outline here, we're going to duplicate it, and then we're going to go to path, and we're going to choose break apart, and then we're going to go to path, and we're going to choose union, and we'll just give it kind of a light gray color, and we can go ahead and push that down to the bottom here, and now you can kind of see what we've got here. We've got our black outline, we've got our green outline, and now we have our gray piece as well. So let's go ahead and save this, okay, because that's done now. We'll call it KC logo. I don't know if it's KC or U or CK, but we'll call it KC logo. And hit save. And that's it. So all of our artwork is completed. It cannot be any more simple than that. So now what we can do is we can pop over to our slicer to actually create our 3D model. All right, here we are in Bambu Studio. We're going to take our SVG file that we just created in Inkscape and turn it into a 3D model for the hype chain. So let's go ahead and import that logo. So we'll go to our desktop here. And we'll import our KC logo here. Let's go ahead and rename our individual pieces of our logo. We'll call that the back plate. And then we'll call this green. And then we will call this black. We will set green and black to 2 millimeters thick here. And then our back plate, let's go ahead and set it to 8 millimeters thick. And let's also change the color of that to 3, which is white. And then our black needs to be color number 2. And there we have all of our colors taken care of. Now we have to put our green on top of our back plate. Our green is 2 millimeters thick, half of 2 is 1, plus our 8 millimeter back plate, that makes 9. So we go to the move tool, switch over to world coordinates, and set that Z to 9. Now our green is 2, the back plate's 8, 8 and 2 is 10, plus the 1 for our back, that's 11. So if we change that world coordinate to 11, and now you can see everything is stacked up, ready to go. There is our pendant. Pretty cool stuff, huh? So let's go ahead and add a couple of build plates. Boom, boom. And we're going to go ahead and copy this to our other build plates. So we'll paste it there, and we'll come down here, and we'll paste it there. Okay. Now, I'm going to go off the beaten trail here just a little bit here because I'm showing you how I always set up all my hype chains. And so I always make keychains when I make my hype chains. So that's what I'm going to show you how to do just real quick here. So we're going to go ahead and go back to scale. Now, typically on a keychain like this, I would probably go ahead and make it about, I don't know, somewhere between 2 and 3 inches, somewhere around there. But let's just go ahead and 3 inches would be 75. Okay, so what if we did 60? So I will choose uniform scale for this, and we'll just choose one of these values here and make it 60. Okay, so that scales it down. There we go. And then what I want to do is I want to go ahead and import a little key tag. So I hit Control I, and if you want this file, just we ask that you like and comment on the video. That really helps us out a lot. But we could send you this little key tag file. But anyhow, we type in key, and there's our key tag right here. So we just go ahead and open that up and go ahead and hit OK. And there's a little key tag right here. And let's go ahead and set that to what color we want. We want that to be white. Let's go ahead and set that to white. And we could just set it right inside here somewhere. Okay. We don't need the whole circle. So we just push, 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 push. All we need is enough room for our jump ring. Okay, so it could be something like that. All right, but what we do need to do is we do need to take that little key tag, shift control our main assembly, and merge that all together. Okay, and then that will print correctly. So what I like to do once I get all of that done is we'll move our purge tower over here somewhere. What I like to do is move this down here. Let's see, what do we got going on here? Okay, that I'm not using a P1S, I'm using an A1, so that will take care of that. So anyhow, we're just going to copy and paste, and that's just how I prefer to do my layouts. You can actually right-click on the shape, and it will automatically populate the bed with as many copies as possible. But in my case, if we use 60, then it kind of, the math works out really well, and that's why I use 60 a lot. You could see we totally filled up our plate with the exception of our prime tower. All right, so there you go. So that's the keychains. So let's go over here and we'll take a look at this next step here. Let's go ahead and import our Cuban. So we're going to go ahead and let's cancel that because I do want to make this plate active before we import our Cuban. So back to Control I, back to our desktop here. Let's open up our Cuban. There's our Cuban. This is a file I got off of MakerWorld, so you can go on there and blank Cuban. If you do a search for blank Cuban, you'll probably find this chain here. We're going to set the filament color to 3, and then let's go ahead and move. Let's go ahead and right-click on the pendant, make sure it is centered to the plate, which it is, and then we're just going to move it up a little bit. I don't know how far we're going to move it up here, but basically we want it to interact with this white piece, which it does. So we are good to go there. I think that'll work. Now notice it says the prime tower is too close. So if we take our prime tower here and we move it down here, we still get that warning message. But if we keep moving it, we hope that that warning goes away, and now that warning goes away. And so that tells me that now our prime tower will clear all the rest of our objects on this plate, and that will print out just fine. Now, this is not ready to print because our pendant is still separate from our Cuban chain. So what we need to do is select the pendant, Shift Control the Cuban, and then right click and choose merge. Okay, and now it is in fact ready to print, no issues there. Okay, and then finally, let's go ahead and add another build plate because we're going to import some other type of chain. So let's do that real quick. So we're going to go Control I again, and then we'll go back to our desktop again, and let's just type in Jackson. So there's Jackson. Again, another file from MakerWorld. This is Jackson 3D file. They do have a YouTube channel as well. But that's where you get these links from, and this is the more traditional hype chain setup. We're going to grab this ring and bring it up here. Now I would like to go ahead and center my ring to my build plate. So we're going to make this plate active. Let's go ahead and center this ring to the build plate. So just right click and choose center. And then also center our pendant here. Make sure that too is centered. Okay, so now they are both centered. So now we can go to our little link here, go to our move tool, and we're just going to bring it up. And just like we did previously with the keychain, we need to bring it up enough to put another link inside. Okay, and we don't have to have it dead center. We could move it over a little bit, but if we don't have it dead center, you do run the risk of it, you know, kind of being a little bit crooked when it's dangling there. So that's plenty of room for another link to go inside of there. So I'll leave it there. That's fine. But like before, we do need to merge our independent ring, Shift Control, with our main assembly here to be able to print it. Okay, so now that is joined together. And so now I do want to change that color though. We do want that to be white. And that way, if you look here, our first 8 layers are going to be printed in white. So we want our ring there to also be printed in white. Okay. So there you go. We got both. Now you'll have to print 2 plates. You can do all green, you could do black, you could do, you know, a mixture of colors, but you need 2 plates of rings for a normal size hype chain. Here on the Cuban, you just need it just like it is. And of course you got your keychain layouts as well. So that is the complete setup, and you can see it is really quick and easy once you understand how to use the features of your slicer. Doesn't get much easier than this. No need for 3D modeling software on simple hype chains like this. All right, so I hope you enjoyed that one and learned a little something. And until next time, thanks for watching.